Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra's lair. I'm your host, Larry, the most delectable Chupacabra man, and today, only your vampire prince Chupacabra man, and we are checking out the indie game Devoid of Shadows, which is a sort of top-down or angled-down hack-and-slash clicker-style RPG adventure game where we are taken into a lost land filled with vampires, ghouls, and all sorts of nefarious princes. And we're going to be doing a little first look video here today to see what's going on in this game, see how it plays, and to give my thoughts on whether or not you might want to purchase it, especially if you liked games like, say, Diablo or the host of different top-down hack-and-slash clickers that also includes things like Path of Exile, Torchlight, Torchlight 2, all of that stuff. So we're going to jump in and play a game mode that I have already started after we take a little detour to check out the intro sequence.
I was destined a crown of Galadon by the destiny and the law of the blood. Once our ancient genus was the strongest one in the Blood Empire and ruled the central part of Vampire's Land. But those days passed a long time ago. Shortly before my age, a terrible war burst between vampires' clans, and our kingdom was under threat of destruction. The enemies united against Galadon and grabbed a solid piece of my father's western possessions. My father, the King Alderbrand, announced that he would find a way to save the kingdom at any cost, and having taken a small detachment of the best warriors, he disappeared in an unknown direction. What happened to them is unknown, and months of continuous searches yielded nothing. The kingdom remained unruled at that hard time. And then my second uncle, Lord Balgor, acceded to the throne, and he was the strongest vampire of all the representatives of the nobility, both in blood and in real power. He said that he had occupied the throne temporarily until my missing father is found, or as long as I do not come into full force and state their rights to the crown. My uncle managed to find a reason for discord between enemies and incited them against each other. He agreed and bribed someone and wiped off some of them by using his troops. The kingdom was saved, and the most influential clans recognized Baldur as worthy of Galadon's throne. On the day of my age, I found the power of blood, and thus the right to occupy the throne as the heirs befits. In honor of my uncle, I arranged a feast, which was to result in his abdication and the beginning of my reign. But the celebration turned into tragedy when suddenly Earl Albert and his advisor dropped dead, having hardly tasted the treat. "Betrayal!" my uncle cried. "Save the heir!" Loyal guards grabbed me and dragged me to a secret passage, but we were not allowed to get away. There was ambush at a secret passage waiting for us, and my guards fell under enemy swords attack. I was exposed to mortal danger, but help came from where nobody expected, with one of the paintings hanging on the wall.
Alright, so with that little exposition out of the way, here we are inside of the dungeon of Devoid of Shadows, and if I didn't mention who makes this game earlier, it's made by Endgame Studios and published by Ars Logica LP, And what you basically saw there was the idea that we are a vampire prince in a world where there's a lot of vying political powers, and people want to kill us before we can inherit the throne from our uncle who's functioning as the regent. When I was about to be killed, or when I was about to be coronated, they tried to kill me. And when I was about to be killed, the god of Eternals, basically the god of everything, came to my aid and stopped everybody from touching my booty. And sucked me into this dungeon where I will be able to gather my power and seek revenge, because I must be a chosen one of some variety, and that's where we're at. So we have to get our way through this dungeon and try to survive with the standard kind of point and click mechanics that you would expect from like a Diablo game, although it's definitely a little bit rough around the edges. So let me backtrack a moment here, now that I've kind of set the stage, and let's talk about what we're doing. So through this door over here was the mortician who makes caskets for the family, the royal family, and he used the tutorial, and then we came out here and talked to this guy who's a mercenary. And this mercenary here, he's kind of a butt. He was one of the people that was sent to kill us, but we're gonna do him a favor because we're a benevolent potential ruler, and we're gonna go and we're going to get him a torch of some kind to fend off the evil critters so that he doesn't get eaten alive. He can just bleed out on the floor alone and terrified, and he can just hope. We're not going to necessarily help him beyond that because he tried to kill us. So we're going to go clear out this dungeon and kind of get introduced to all of those mechanics. Is this a pathway back here? This might have been a pathway. This is a pathway. It's a very small pathway. Not sure how I feel about it. Let's kill a scorpion. We'll do that thing where you kite back and forth a little bit. Although I will say, there doesn't seem to be a global cooldown on your abilities in this game. So it's definitely easy to chain gun things to death, so long as you keep track of where your proximity is to all of the enemies. So this is, you know, standard fare. You point, you click, and you blast things to death, trying not to get blasted by the other magic heretic who has the same sort of laughing skull fire ability that we have. And you just try to kill everything in this game without being quickly overrun, while also looking out for barrels like this one, which we can unquote mine for different resources that we can then use to build different items, upgrade our abilities and armor, and also accentuate some of the things in our castle, which I guess we have access to, which will open up our ability to get like potions and things and make our character stronger. Now, I did have some choices in this game as to what class I was going to play. I had the option of playing a magic character, which I chose to do. I am Regal, or Regald. I'm not sure how you pronounce the name of this character. And he shoots magic. You could also be the basic character, which has melee abilities. And then there was a female character, actually, a female vampire who had the ability to stealth around and stab people quietly, like some sort of medieval serial killer. Now, I don't necessarily like stealth mechanics in a lot of games, so I tend to skip that because it's usually more effort than it's worth, but that's where we're at. And if I had one thing to say, I like that this game spends a lot of time on the story, even though, as I'm sure you saw, because I don't think the people who make this game's first language is English, it's a little bit hard to understand parts of it. It's like being thrown into book 4 of a 8-book series. So maybe if they kind of polish that off, that would be a little bit better. And then the only thing that kind of bugs me is occasionally some of the controls in this game are a little bit janky, like looking around for obstacles or threats that you need to be aware of. Because it's really easy to get overwhelmed in this game simply because the contextual melee controls, or where you're walking, are a little bit janky. Like, I think your greatest threat in this game is probably the terrain. Because as I'm sure you've seen, I've gotten hung up on this dirt patch quite a few times, and that is not the most kosher thing in the universe when you're trying to avoid getting stung to death by a cute little scorpion. Now, that being said, it's not bad. You get beat up a little bit and you just wait and then you'll regenerate your health. It's not like Diablo or Torchlight or Path of Exile where you're constantly spamming your health potions. So that is a component that I like. It's paced out a little better, so it's more about the RPG element and less about the ridiculous speed at which you have to fight everything. And I will note that I am playing this game on normal currently, so I'm not exactly super challenged, but I'm a little challenged by what's going on, or at least that's the idea. So let's see, I like the decor. The decor is nice. Although I think one thing I would like more than anything is if they stopped with this sort of really close-in angle, because this is as far out as I can scroll, and instead if they maybe gave me something like a top-down option, because it's cool to see all this stuff really close up, but after you've seen an area for a while and sort of seen the different varieties of decor you can encounter, you're pretty much set for a while, I feel. It's a little unnecessary. So I'm gonna back off a little bit before these creepy gnolls try to kill me. I'm gonna try and kite them to death. It's a little hard to control. Like, again, the biggest qualm that I have with this game is it's a little bit difficult to control. And then I think that once you get some of these pop-ups, it should just let you go. Like, once you've gotten a certain number of points to get your next power-up point, I feel like you don't necessarily need to have a pop-up. You could just have, like, an animation on the character, like a level-up animation, or whatever. Because basically, that thing that you keep seeing there is every time I kill 10 enemies, I get a certain amount of blood. So 10 blood equals the ability to get some parameter points to either up my stats or up one of my abilities. So I've got my basic sort of stats: attack, health, mana, chance of critical damage, dodge. Obviously, dodge and crit not as important when you're magical. So let me buff up my attack damage. There's really no reason not to have a bunch of that. And then I'm gonna see if I can't kill my way into this room. This is a really nasty room. It's full of these nasty pooches. And they nibble you. They nibble you a lot. Basically, these things, if you're a spellcaster, can like 2 or 3 shot you. I would honestly say if you wanted an easy time at this game, you probably want to try the melee guy. But to start out with, this is a little bit rough on the old nuggets. So yeah, your parameter points can either be spent on your stats or on your abilities. I'm not sure that I like that any more than I like a standard leveling system. Just because at least with a leveling system, they give you a little bit of both, but maybe that's just a case of just be patient with your points, wait till you got a bunch, then level up some of your stats, and then level up some of your abilities, and you'll be pretty well balanced. As opposed to what I've ended up having to do, which is a little bit janky, to say the least. So this is kind of an annoying room, because if you're not careful, you'll pull the whole room, and they'll kill the shit out of you, which they did to me a couple of times when I was testing this game and moving on to the next area. But I've quickly discovered that this game is actually supremely easy if you just be patient and you get into someone's aggro range, get them away from their buddies, and then murder them. In fact, I think that's like everybody in this room now. So I'll just kill this last gnoll. Oh, there's a key. There's a key for me. All right, cool. So this is definitely not the most challenging top-down hack-and-slash game that I have ever played in my life. It's definitely something that you're gonna kind of come here for more of the story. Now, something that, again, I'll reiterate is that I wouldn't mind if the story was a little bit more written for people who are, you know, primary English speakers, because things are a little more confusing, and maybe introduce things a little bit more gradually in the story. Because I've been thrown into, like, a long lineage of vampire wars. It's like having your only history that you've known to date been, like, recent US history, and then starting United States history at the Civil War instead of the founding of the country, which can be a little bit confusing. Like, how did we get to the Civil War? What's happening? Why? What's this about slavery kind of a deal? So the setting is a little confusing, but you can pick it up after a bit, I would say. And then I think I was supposed to get a quest here, but I have not found anything even close to... So there's the Ancient's Henchman. A mortician tells you about the blood power. Okay, so I have a journal that's supposed to give me hints and keep track of what I've been doing lately. Can I talk to you? You are bleeding, soldier. How and where did you get here? My name does not matter. I'm dying, your highness. My conscience, or what's left of it, is bothering me. The mortal, how did you know who I am? I must know you. I am one of those sent to attack you 10 days ago. I accidentally skipped something. I shall tell everything. Could you please be merciful to me, your highness? I shall tell you who put a price on your head. I don't want to die being eaten by beasts in this cursed place. You deserve to die, mercenary, but I need to know who's running this conspiracy. Speak. What do you want for your last whatever? So again, like, it's not bad on the story. I kind of enjoy the idea of, like, a long-term lineage of vampires, because I really liked the Deckard Cain series, but it's a little hard to follow when the syntax is a little bit broken. So I just ask for a little light. The lit torches will frighten the beasts off, and I shall be able to pray to the saint sleeping made during my last minutes. While I was waiting for you, I was trying to find food and water, and I saw the strange place, looking like a magician's shelter. On the table was a book with flame spells. I guess you will light the torches with them. Hurry up, forgive my presumptuousness, but I won't stand for long. Don't die before I return. So yeah, that's his shtick. I guess since I died before, it had made me redo that little thing. So I'm looking for a mage's sanctuary in here. I would like to say that it's got to be in this level, right? Because when you enter the glowy portion... Oh, here it is. This must be it. You ever been rewarded? Firebolt 1. There's an old shoddy book decorated with magic symbols. Seems like the one described by the mercenary. I'll have a look at it. Okay, that's going to be in my inventory. Here we are. Firebolt. Causes 20 to 25 damage. How much does my skill do? Probably not as much cool damage. So how do I use this? I'm not sure. It doesn't hover over and tell me, which would be nice if it could hover over and actually tell me what I could do with it, but easy come, easy go, I suspect. Objective, find the magic fire book. So reward firebolt scroll. Okay, well, I can certainly do that. But yeah, once I enter the glowing light outside the door coming up, I won't be able to return to the previous level, I don't think. So you gotta do all these things as you approach them. So there he goes, regard. I have found some scrolls, I hope it is enough. How shall I light the torches? Touch 3 torches. The magic spell will blow the spark into a flame. Oh, it's so cold and dark here. Alright, was that it? The torches are lit here, but they're not lit as well as these other ones, but I guess it's a magic flame, so what are you gonna do? Alright, well, I guess we'll leave to the next floor. I'm nice, but I'm not nice enough to watch him die. It's basically what you've learned about Larry today. So let's see what's in the next area. And see what we have to mess with. I'm gonna have another swig of my beverage. Oh, what's going on? Oh, sometimes when you click on certain terrain, it does not keep walking. It makes you stop for a bit. It's not letting me through yet. I wonder why. Do I need to talk to that guy again? I might. Let me see about getting this fireball to work. Do I put this as like an ability? I mean, it gave me a scroll. I have no idea what the heck you do with the scroll, though. I would also really like it for the interface design. Like, I'm fine with the way that the interface is laid out. That's very standard for this type of a game. You've got, like, a character screen, you got an inventory screen, you got a skill screen. You should make it so there's some tabs up here, so I only have to open up one box to get at all of my different stuff. And then B, I should just be able to tap escape to really quickly get out of it, because more time clicking is less time stabbing monsters. But that's more of a thing for the developers than for people watching. So what? I've talked to him, I've done the thing. So the torches need lighting by using the magic spell found from the scrolls. Light 3 torches. Oh, it wants me to click on them. It would be nice if they shimmered or something to indicate that I need to do that, because everything here glows in some capacity. That's a little confusing. Mercenary, I have done what you asked me for. Now speak. Who hired you? Thank you, Your Highness. I see the light and it is coming to me. Closer, please. I can hardly speak. It was your... Come on, the name. No, he's dead. One thing is clear to me now. The one who ordered to kill me was someone close to me. Traitors. There is a way out at the end of the hallway. I have to run there quickly and find the Ancient One. Okay, so I got a blood potion. Yeah, so that's the shtick, is that I think either our uncle or one of our cousins or something tried to get us killed. So that's kind of annoying. I mean, it makes sense, because our father disappeared randomly in the middle of a war. And then our uncle took over and just happened to have the best solution. So, you know, whatever that tells you, I suppose. Okay, so we're in kind of like a cave area with wild boars, which I will proceed to murder the pants off of. Okay, I will say that some of the controls for this game are a little difficult. It would be nice if they had done it like Diablo had done, where as you click on somebody, your character kind of stops to cast and kind of allows you to figure out if you're going to be... Whoa! Okay, there's magic. Yeah, the constant pop-ups I wish you could turn off. That's definitely something I want gone. But it'd be nice if you had, like, the ability so as you start shooting, you don't immediately run into danger when you're a caster. Again, that's probably less of an issue when you're melee, and probably why they ignored that, but it would... Oh, okay. Wow, that basically killed me. Wow, that was something. How often does this save? Alright, it saves often enough, I guess. Alright, let's put some more points into our health, because clearly that is important. Actually, let's put some points into our magic. So we have a fire shield. Now, the thing with fire shield is that it's a fire shield. It does damage of fire to people when they touch you, but it only lasts for 7 seconds, which is annoying. This should just be a passive buff that you cast, and then it just works. Like a toggle, because this is... I don't know, I just don't really feel I need to worry about that many spells. Evocation, that might be useful. Okay, I guess I don't have anything to spend on this. Oh, I guess I lost my parameter points. That's not fun. Alright, fine. What's in here? Piece of silk. Alright, well, that guy's dead. I guess I'll just have to be careful with how I kill these crystals. Stab, stab, stab. 10 points of blood. Stab, stab, stab. Alright, better. I'll make sure I'm fully healed before I fight more of these crystal gem things. Feel like I'm fighting things in Steven Universe. Let's go down Boar Town. Yeah, I'm not liking a lot of this perspective. I'm not. Little janky as heck. How does that blood potion work? So what does that do? Blood potion restores 30 health. I can put it over here. Is that my one ability? Maybe? I guess we will find out. If I have to click all my buttons, that's gonna be a kind of a pain. Alright, he's dead. What's this thing? It's a dungeon beast. It's a dungeon, not really an issue. Okay, so I have to click on those potions, which... Is there an easy way in the options? No, I don't really have access to the options in-game, which is kind of a no-no, because I don't really want to, you know, unload the game, go outside, change options, and then load back in. But for what this game is, it's not bad. It's got a neat little story. It's got some kind of very old-school style combat. The only thing I'm not sure about is, you know, if I would pay... Me personally, if I wasn't a YouTuber, if I would pay around $17, $18 for this title, or, you know, maybe I'd wait for a sale before I did anything else with that. Oh, cool. There's like a new thing I can access here. So how do I get better mining stuff? Do I have to go to the artisan here? Okay, let's create a new forge. And how do I craft? There is crafting in this game. There's a lot of crafting. Okay, I don't really have a recipe here. Okay, I could make a rusty pick, but I'm missing some of the components. Noted. All right. So there is a little bit of an in-depth crafting and resource gathering situation going on, where as you go deeper in here, there's a lot of different resources that are available to you for a lot of different reasons, which is nice. I mean, if you gotta pick a crafting material, you might as well make it so there's actually crafting and resource gathering in here. And actually finding it in some barrels occasionally is as meaningful as any other way. Although maybe you could just have an animation to attack the barrels instead of using a pick to open them. That might make a little bit of more sense, but I'm just nitpicking at this point. So, lots of crystals. I don't like all the crystals. Ow, son of a bitch. That's a murder worm. I don't like the murder worm. Me and the murder worm are not murder friends, I think is the best way to put that. So I'm gonna regenerate, and I'm gonna kill these vile ratlings. I certainly will give this game credit. It's not like those other games where it's constantly using, like, unfit together pre-bought assets. They actually have a bunch of assets. They all fit together real nice. It's, again, not the most stellar-looking AAA title, but everything works for the most part. And, yeah, it's pleasantly playable. Like, I'm somehow enjoying this, although it's not as action-packed as I was necessarily expecting from the store page. It's a little bit more methodical than I think they judged you would do. Maybe they didn't bank on as many people going magic, which is completely reasonable. So, Regard, the Rockfall, the Labyrinth has a surprise for me. I have to be careful and remember the Mortician's advice, so let me take a look at the stones. Judging by the melted edges, one used magic or explosives to cause this. I wish the main exit wouldn't be obstructed. This place looks like an abandoned mine. I'll have a look around, perhaps the miners left something useful behind. Oh, and somebody's screaming. So it looks like there might be somebody in here for me to save. Possibly one of those mercenaries that tried to kill me, which, if they're gonna get spicy, I'll probably kill them instead. So I guess that kind of creaky noise might be the scream, might not be. Not 100% on that, but who knows? Lots of ratlings. Ratlings, how are you, gentlemen? Having a good day? Excellent, excellent. Let me put some more points in my health. My health is looking to be the thing that's going to be the biggest pain in the tuchus to maintain. So let's keep that under control. I have lots of damage. Like, damage has not been an issue considering I'm basically a magic machine gun. So what are you gonna do, really? Is there any more weapons? Source of magic? More magic damage, I guess. Destruction. I really wouldn't mind if some of these abilities had better gimmicks to them, like one of them would summon a golem or a skeleton or suck the blood out of somebody to heal me, but it was a really expensive mana-wise. Like, some of that would be kind of nice. Okay, I didn't mean to click my HUD, but alright. You have been rewarded with a clay missile. Is that a bomb? Maybe hire somebody to take another look at this English. I'm getting a little confused as to some of what's going on, and I feel like that could be fixed by simply having someone take another look at the original source material, whatever language that was originally in, and maybe take another crack at that. It's workable, but it's certainly confusing at times. Yeah, so I would definitely clean up the... If you cleaned up the controls a little bit, cleaned up the English, and cleaned up the camera, this game would be pretty good. I would thoroughly enjoy the pants off of this. Oh, skeletons. Hey, skeletons. How are you? You guys having a good day? It's nice that you guys found work after the Army of Darkness took off and Bruce Campbell went on to other projects. I mean, is this topical doing anything for you folks at home? I don't know what else to tell you about a skeleton. Mickey Mouse has lots of them. He's not hiring anymore after that sing and dance special, so I don't know what to tell you. Ouch. That hurt a lot. Let's see what this has got. You've been rewarded with a broken handle, Larry. Your favorite. Just what you always wanted for Christmas. And an edible root. Is any of this stuff usable, or is this just junk I need to sell to people? It could just be junk. It looks like I have a somewhat limited inventory. Okay, I can dismantle stuff like these shabby books. And I can get rocks from books. And I can get wood from... Okay. That's a little weird, but fine, I guess. Seems weird that I get things like metal from a heart, but maybe it's like a really nasty beast heart. Or maybe it's random, I don't know. Okay, so you can get crafting materials from corpse bits. Good to know. Very nice to know. Let's kill that magic dude. Alright, that guy full-on missed me. Excellent. I always like it when I walk away without another magic missile in my face. Or my booty. All of these things are nice. Okay, so this game's kind of neat. It's got all those little pieces. It's got a little NPC you can help out. It's got some story. It's got some alternate characters that you can mess around with. I feel like this is pretty decent. So I would probably recommend this. I would. I'm a little on the fence just because of the roughness to it, but it's workable. I think it's just the controls, the camera, and a little bit of the English, and you'll be golden. So I'm gonna say that's probably it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Larry. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And, well, wait, what's this? Earl Renvere, what's going on? Your warriors raised their weapon. You set a trap for me, didn't you? Nothing personal, Your Highness. You have to die. I'm gonna kill you, Renvere. How dare you? Eat it, Renvere, you traitorous pig. Wait, his soldiers raised their... No, they didn't. They don't even know I'm here. Maybe some bigger aggro range would be nice too. But yeah, I'm kind of on the edge of this, but if this is the type of game you're like and you're looking for something slower, I know games like this, I've played games like this that have been popular, especially on the mobile platform, so maybe that's something that the team who made this would be interested in investigating. And until next time, I've been your host, Larry the Chupacabra. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Links to this game are in the video description. And yeah, toodles fruitles.